So I'll share the link later. We also close this so that it shows better, but still I can post it on the chat, maybe for further reference. So we are looking at sorry. We are looking at the course content. So we were looking at Linux. Right now, we're going to you're going to look at the Linux review, and you can also check yourself. How did you do in the Linux review lab? So you just check that. Also, there's something called Linux Unhatched. If you feel like you would want us to enable it and to start it on the course, I can start up the course, the Linux Unhatched. Again, it is a free online self-paced course, which you can also do under the academy. So I'll do this. I'll just go to Python. We'll start from the power of code. I think there's usually a very good video here, a very nice video, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, so let me stop the share, then I start the share again. Then I share with sound, that, I share. So let's watch this video a bit.
I was 13 when I first got access to a computer.
My parents bought me a Macintosh in 1984 when I was 8 years old. I was in 6th grade.
I learned to code in college.
Freshman year, first semester, intro to computer science.
I wrote a program to play tic-tac-toe.
I think it was pretty humble beginnings. I think the first program I wrote asked things like, what's your favorite color? Or how old are you?
I first learned how to make a green circle and a red square appear on the screen.
The first time I actually had something come up and say, hello world, and I made a computer do that. It was just astonishing.
Learning how to program didn't start off as wanting to learn all of computer science or trying to master this discipline or anything like that. It just started off because I wanted to do this one simple thing. I wanted to make something that was fun for myself and my sisters. And I wrote this little program and then basically just add a little bit to it. And then when I needed to learn something new, I looked it up either in a book or on the internet and then added a little bit to it.
It's really not unlike kind of playing an instrument or something or playing a sport. It starts out being very intimidating, but you kind of get the hang of it over time.
Coding is something that can be learned, and I know it can be intimidating. A lot of things are intimidating, but you know, what isn't?
A lot of the coding that people do is actually fairly simple. It's more about the process of breaking down problems than sort of coming up with complicated algorithms as people traditionally think about it.
You don't have to be a genius to know how to code. You need to be determined.
Addition, subtraction, that's about it.
You should probably know your multiplication tables.
You don't have to be a genius to code. Do you have to be a genius to read?
Even if you want to become a race car driver or play baseball or build a house, all of these things have been turned upside down by software.
What it is, computers are everywhere. You want to work in agriculture? Do you want to work in entertainment? Do you want to work in manufacturing? It's just all over.
Here we are, 2013. We all depend on technology to communicate, to bank, information, and none of us know how to read and write code.
When I was in school, I was in this after-school group called the Whiz Kids. And when people found out, they laughed at me and, all these things. And I'm like, man, I don't care. I think it's cool. And, I'm learning a lot. And some of my friends have jobs.
Our policy is literally to hire as many talented engineers as we can find. The whole limit in the system is just that there just aren't enough people who are trained and have these skills today.
To get the very best people, we try to make the office as awesome as possible.
We have a fantastic chef,
Free food,
breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
free laundry,
snacks, even places to play and video games and scooters. There's all these kind of interesting things around the office and places where people can play or relax or go to think or play music or be creative.
Whether you're trying to make a lot of money or whether you just want to change the world, computer programming is an incredibly empowering skill to learn.
I think if someone had told me that software is really about humanity, that it's really about helping people by using computer technology, it would have changed my outlook a lot earlier.
To be able to actually come up with an idea and then see it in your hands and then be able to press a button and have it be in millions of people's hands. I think we're the first generation in the world that's really ever had that kind of experience.
Just to think that you can start something in your college dorm room and you can have a set of people who haven't built a big company before come together and build something that 1 billion people use as part of their daily lives is just crazy to think about, right? It's humbling and it's amazing.
The programmers of tomorrow are the wizards of the future. You're going to look like you have magic powers compared to everybody else.
I think it's amazing. I think it's the closest thing we have to a superpower.
Great coders are today's rock stars. That's it.
So basically that's, don't know how many of you had watched that video before. Had you watched that video before? We take this call because it's very important. Then we go on. Let me mute myself on the meeting. Okay, so So basically in this video, nini nataka tuambiane, what have you learned from watching that video? Just you watch to equal movie, unajua movie inakuanga entertainment, unafurahia alafu story inaisha. What have you learned? Starting kila mtu anasema tu, starting let's tuanzie wapi, ladies first. Tukiende hivi. What have you learned from watching that video about coding? Mm. 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 That is nice. That is something you can learn from that. Na pia, umeona like it captures all, even in gender. So unaona like you had different ladies who have done a lot of crazy things. Napata moja ni vice president of Dropbox, and she's a lady. And another lady was saying that if she would have been told that coding it is something that transforms humanity, angeamua kuitake up earlier. Ndio? Yeah. James. Mm. Ni kweli. I think even so like kuna mtu anataka kusema kwa agriculture, kwa manufacturing, kwa wapi, there's nowhere you can go penye utakosa code, there's always an element of code somewhere. Kama ni architectural drawings, siku hizi bado watu wanachora na hizi ma software latest, ndio? And all that. Ni ukweli. Unaona ule mse wa NBA, yani yeye passion yake ni basketball, lakini akaamua ku code. Kulikuwa na ule mwingine alikuwa huyo Williams, mnajua wa Black Eyed Peas. pia yeye amewahi code, wanasema celebrities nini. Unajua huko penye imefika huko majuu, imefika point ya they are trying to bring out these like motto kuwa anybody can code. It is not a preserve of some geniuses, it is not some preserve of some computer scientists somewhere ama kitu kama hiyo. That's unaona watoto from the earliest age wanafunza. Ulikuwa unaona wengine walikuwa wanatumia kitu inaitwa scratch, ulikuwa na code fulani ya scratch. I think ulikuwa unaona mahali hapo, it was where hapa. So unaona this program inaitangwa scratch, ili developiwa MIT, si mnajua kianza kusema Massachusetts nitamalizia nitajiuma ulimi kabla nimalize Massachusetts na sijui nini, but MIT, so they created a way that mtu anaweza kaa hivi, anaweza learn hizo hata ma loops, ma conditionals nini, alafu akiranisha inaweza kuonyesha kitu. Ukipata time go and just check, inaitwa Scratch by MIT. Unaona Scratch, imagine program nini MIT, unaona. So unaweza amua kucode, unaona, get creative with coding, unaweza tafuta the online. So ini kitu inasaidia even people who are not into nini, unaona, can download. So now download the Scratch app. Sasa unaona unaweza download for nini, so unaweza sema direct download, unaona ni 1.1. So there are some versions. So inakusaidia kujua some things about coding, especially for somebody who is not into computer science. Inamsaidia kujua, it's a very fun way. It's like kama kucheza games and you are coding. Na mkiamua kuwa na watoto mwape Scratch. Yeah, so it was Scratch. But that is that. So I go so the reason why we went through that, the reason that you realize that the way Cisco inakuwa imeweka courses zake, even ina combine videos, ina combine content and all these kind of things, is to help you understand things from there. So that atungerukia to Python before you get to know why you are actually coding. You can see Python is the great thing about Python is has so many uses. Kama ni machine learning, Python iko hapo. Kama ni data science, mambo ya kuanalyze data, Python iko hapo. Kama ni network programmability, Python iko hapo. Kama ni anything, most, because inakwanga like an interpreter, and you can see utaona hizo advantages zake zote hapo. And that is why even in our DevNet we are actually doing Python. And the funny thing and the not funny, even is a miserable thing ya kulilia, I don't think kuna any computer science course, I think apart from applied, maybe which touches it, ama ikuwe ni lecturer ameamua, in our normal computer science and nini, even in our curriculum saizi, utashtukia umemaliza fourth year kama hujaiona Python anywhere. Because Python ilikuja a bit later into the scene. By the time with curriculum tulikuwa tunatengeneza ilikuanga C na C++ and all that. So Python is not in our normal curriculum, but that is why you have the Cisco Academy, so that you learn the latest technologies and the latest programs na vitu kama hivyo. And you can see right, kama saizi this DevNet Associates, unaona imeandikwa version 1.0. Kitu mpya ikifanyika, anything great that will happen within DevNet, it a reviewer into this curriculum, and then it will change into version 2.0 bila hata mimi kungangana, unless maybe on my part nezambiwa I go and train again so that nijue what new has happened between the old DevNet 1.0 to the new DevNet maybe 2.0. Kama saizi CCNA iko version 7. Kuna gani IT Essentials, I think pia iko version, I think is it 10. So over the years, over hizo miaka zote since Cisco Academy started, they've been actually reviewing the materials, and they go with the way technology is moving. So we'll go a Python programming review. The reason why they are calling it review is they expect that by now umeiva Python. You are coming to do DevNet, you have already the basics of Linux and you already have the basics of Python. So that's why it's just called a review. So I'll also download that. Let me put it there so that I can run it later. Okay, so we go to, let me see, how will I do this? Okay, let me just go one by one. So you can see launch the devask. I'll actually load it. Then you can see to check the Python version. You can zoom. Yeah. To check the Python version running in VM, open terminal and enter the command Python 3 -v. So I'll just do that. Python 3. So hata wewe kama umefungua nini? Umefungua devask kufanya hivyo. Python 3. Hivyo ndio inaniambia. So you can see it is showing me my Python is version 3.8.2. Hapa tuko na mbili itakuwa gani? So nani nakwambia the same one. Sasa nimekuonyesha. Si ndio? Then you are done. So you can see you would need to change it to Python 2 if a different device is using is running version 2. However, as of January 1st, 2020, Python 2 is no longer supported. Therefore, Python 2 is not supported in this lab or even in this course. So we are not going to use Python 2. We are going to use Python 3. At the time of this lab was written, Python 3.8.2 was the latest version. Although you can update your Python install to sudo apt-get install Python 3 command. This lab and the rest of the labs in this course are based on Python 3.8.2. So I don't need to run this because I want it to remain in the same ndo isikuwe na shida, si ndio? So that tubaki. So you can see to start Python, type Python 3. 3 angle brackets will indicate that you have the Python interactive interpreter. So I just go to this, then I type Python 3. It will just open the Python interpreter directly. Yako imefungua? Zote zimefungua, si ndio? We go on to the lab. I use the interpreter as a calculator. From here, you can do a variety of basic programming, including math operations. The table shows the Python syntax of common operators. Addition is A plus, B minus B, multiplication, division, exponents ni yo. Hii ndio ya maths, na hivi ndio inafanywa kwa Python. Hivi ndio inafanywa kwa Python, hivi ndio inafanywa kwa Python, hivi ndio inafanywa. Umeelewa? Haya. So enter a few math operations. Sasa nataka mfanye hizi. 2 plus 3 muone kama italeta 5, 10 minus 4, easy. Haraka haraka. Ziko sawa, zimemaliza? That is nice. So zote zimeleta the same, it acted like a calculator, si ndio? Then you can see, recall that Python uses the standard order of operations. Sisi tunaitanga BODMAS, ndio? But here we usually call it PEMDAS. So PEMDAS ni parentheses, exponents, multiplication and division, then addition and subtraction. It forms what we call PEMDAS. Try entering an expression with a complex order of operations in the interactive interpreter. use the interactive interpreter to print a string. Hii sasa, hii ni utajaribu baadaye tu, like hiyo ni kama kusema ujaribu 5 plus 10 weke into bracket, sindio? Don't have to do that. Type hello world, tuone kama itafanya. Type hii. So this is a string. A string is any sequence of characters such as letters, numbers. Hiyo ndio kama like command prompt yake inakuonyesha kuwa whatever you're typing there is you're typing, let's say later on you're going to see you're going to be creating Python files. Umeelewa? Naona kama venye tulikuwa tunaunda bash scripts ile ya .sh. So you're going to be doing .py. Itakuwa files. But right now, since you are in the interpreter, tuna run hizo Python commands directly. That is why iko na hizo 3 angle brackets to show it is ready to receive Python commands. Sini sawa? Yeah. Imeleta hello world hivyo. Imerudia, si ndio? Then the print command can also be used directly in the interactive interpreter. So jaribu kuweka print ikiwa na brackets, as at Python 3 siku hizi inaweka brackets. Imeleta? Imefanya? Okay. Tuacha nimalize tu hapa pt/18. So you can see to exit the interpreter, type enter quit. Ufanye hivyo uone kaita kurudisha kwa sasa command prompt ya bash kama hiyo. So I also do that. Ndio pia mimi nitoke. Quit. Kitu nimefanya nini? Quit. Simekurudisha, si ndio? So ikikurudisha hivyo, we go on with the lab. So inamaanisha now you are out of Python. So for you to start Python again, you'll have to type your Python 3. Then open VS Code and create a script for hello world. So VS Code, simple na VS Code, Visual Studio Code. Hapa. Ndio hapa. Open it. There are many development environments available for programmers to manage their coding projects. In this course, the labs will use VM's installation of Microsoft's Visual Studio Code. Open VS Code. If this is your first time, it will be represented with a welcome window. Feel free to explore at your own time. Utafanya baadaye. For now, click on File, New File to open a new file. In your new file, type the print command from the previous step. Save the script as hello world in the labs DevNet SRC Python folder. So tufanye hivyo very fast. So tutatumia hii code print hello world. So I'll go there. So unaona imekwambia new. So file, new file. Then I'll type print hello world. Then imeniambia ni save wapi. File, save as, labs, DevNet SRC, na niingie kwa folder inaitwa Python. All these folders have been already created for you, so you just save there. Then imeniambia ni save as what? Let's confirm. So just follow those instructions. You save as hello world.py. Be sure that you add the extension .py for Python file. So we do that. So hello. Where am I typing? Hapa, si ndio? Hello world.py. Then I save. So you can see once the moment I saved it as .py, unaona icon ya Python ilitokea hapa. You see Python icon there, and you can see it is telling you penye imesaviwa DevNet, Labs, SRC, Python, hello world.py. What else is it telling me? Let me see the nini. To run the script, click run without debugging. A terminal window opens inside VS Code, runs the code to launch the instance of Python, runs your scripts, then exits out of Python and back to your Linux command line. Let's do that. So I say run iko hapa, run without debugging. So now imeranisha. Now imefanya exactly what it is. It has done hello world app. So now, are we together? Meza kuachieve hiyo? Mko steps 5 nyuma. Sometimes I do them as if they are maybe I might be going too fast. Make sure you save it in the right place and don't forget to put .py. Haitafanya kama hujaranisha, kama hujaweka .py. Imeran? Are you having a challenge? Where is the challenge? Iko sawa sasa? Imekuwa sawa? So you can see the Python debugging console imekuja na ikaleta hii hapo chini, si ndio? Yeah. So we follow the lab again. Let's continue to follow the lab. Now that you have a command line open inside VS Code, you can manually launch Python and quickly run your script with the following command. So within our command line, tuseme Python 3 hello world.py. So let's do that. So tutatype hapa Python 3 hapa chini. Hello world.py. Has it done that? Don't forget the 3. Imefanya? It has worked, si ndio? So basically what we have done is just executed this line of code here at the top. So that is what we've done. So let's go on. You can also open a terminal window outside of VS Code and enter the same code, making sure you provide path information. So yetu iko path yetu, hebu tuone kama iko sawa. Path yetu ni labs DevNet SRC Python, si ndio? So I can just go to outside of Python, outside of VS Code. Inamaanisha I come here, I come to this command line, si ndio hii hapa. So I say Python 3, then I go to the root, labs, si ndio? DevNet SRC /Python. So niko ndani ya folder Python, then kuna file inaitwa hello world.py. Taka mtype hiyo. Have you seen it? So utafinya shift alafu ufinye hiyo. So imerun sasa. Nafaa kurun sasa. Ati nini hizo? Hizi notes ziko tu hapo tu. When you open course, ukifungua tu hii course content kanaleta. Sitaleta. Zinafaa kuwa. Ziko. Zote ziko. We'll just check. They're all there. Easy notes, I'm just getting it the same way you can get it. Okay. So you can see unaambiwa hapa chini, in this course, you will typically run your scripts directly inside VS Code. So most of the time, you will be using Visual Studio Code. Umesikia? Umeweza kuranisha hiyo ama bado inaleta error? Inafaa kuleta hii hello world. Hivyo. Imeleta? Imefanya kazi sasa? Iko sawa? So I was giving you some time so that you can check that out. Okay, so we follow the lab, still follow the lab. Review the data type and variables. In this part, you will use the interactive interpreter to review data types, create variables, concatenate strings, and cast between the data types. Hizo ni vitu zote utaweza kufanya. So unaona data types, they are basic data types. Hizi ni vitu we also learn in our computer science, ndio? Integer is any number that is a whole number. So unaona, for example, 3.75 can only be interpreted as 3 because that is the whole number part, ndio? It doesn't care about this 0.75. Then float used to specify a number that need a decimal value. For example, that one can see it will take care of the 14159. Then string is any sequence of characters, symbols, blah blah blah. So if, for example, your name is a string, see me sir. Then you have Boolean. Boolean, any data type that has a value of either true or false. So use the type command to determine the basic data types: int, float, string, Boolean. So you type Python 3, type up Python 3, bio. So you do Python 3 without a space. You'll get that. Imefungua? Ikifungua, you go to use the type command to determine. Osha hiyo lights huko nyuma, ndio tusiumie macho. Huko nyuma, huko nyuma itakuwa sawa. I think itasaidia, si ndio? So unaona, we have, you type alafu sasa the value and unataka kutest, then you put the bracket. So we'll do that. Let's do that. So we'll start 98.6, alafu tuta type high. So let's do that. So type, then you do 98. Do you tell you can see it is telling it is within the class of int, which is the integer. We'll type 98.6 or any other number. You can see it is telling it is within float because it has a decimal value. Then we go to type. Then we decide to have high. Yeah, najaribu kukumbuka ni nini tulikuwa tunafaa kutype hapo. I think nimefanya maajabu hapa. Ongeza kitu kingine. Yeah, your slash. So you can see it is telling it is class of string. str is just short form for strings, India. And you can see it is the same thing on your lab. Do you see that? Class int, float, string. Oh, I can also type Boolean. So I'll say type true. And do type false. Because false is also Boolean, India. False. You can see it is telling it is a Boolean, India. No. So that way, let me minimize that and they see confused. So we go on the lab. So review the different Boolean operators. The Boolean data type makes use of operators shown in the table. There is greater than, less than, equal to. We usually use double equal sign. Not equal to, we use that one. Unaona? Greater than or equal to, we use that. Less than or equal to, we use that. So in the interpreter, try out different Boolean operators. One is less than 2. So we'll do that. 1 less than 2. So we are expecting it to tell us it is true. Sindio? So you can see it is telling you that is true. If we say 2 is less than 1, you can see it is telling us false because that is not the correct thing. If I say 3 equals 5, that is how we write equals. Now it is telling me false. If I say 3 equals 3, you can see it is telling me true, sindio? So you can try. You can say 3 not equal to 5. You can see it is telling me true. If I say 3 not equal to 3, I should get false because obviously 3 equals to 3. So those are the different Boolean operators. If I say 3 is less than or equal to 5, I'm getting true. If I say 3 is less than or equal to 3, I'm also getting true because I've written less than or equal to. So the equal to will suffice. But remember, our equals will always be double equal sign. In programming, that is the rule. Lazima ikuwe equals mbili. Unajua sisi kwa math tumezoea equal sign ni moja, but in programming it has to be 2. Yeah, so that is Boolean. Mosaic there. So you can see, you can try out different things and you can just say, use the interpreter to create and use a variable. So a variable, usually a container for a value, which can be a string, it can be a Boolean, it can be float, it can be integer. So it's just a container. So the Boolean operator for determining whether two values are equal to is the double equal sign. A single equal sign is used to assign a value to a variable. So that is why you can see equals, a single equal sign iko na kazi yake kwa programming. Sindio? Then the equal sign, double equal sign is the one that is used for comparison. So you'll have this, the variable that can then be used in other commands to recall the value. For example, create and use the following variable in the interactive interpreter. So you type x is equals to 3, which just means assign the value of 3 to a variable called x. There's something that you'll realize that is very good with Python is you don't have to declare or define a variable for you to use it. Unaweza create as you wish. Sindio? Unaweza ita, I can even call something yes, my name, and it becomes a variable. And that variable, the type, it takes the type according to the value enye imechukua. That variable will change to maybe a float, kama ni a decimal point value, kama ni 3.5, itaamua your variable, it's going to be holding floating point values. But you realize with other programming languages, you cannot use a variable until you declare it. Sindio? So at the top, lazima useme int x. Sasa huko chini ndio utaanza kusema, na ukisha declare it is an integer, integer variable, you cannot use it for any other purpose. It should be holding only integer values. But the powerful thing about Python is that you can create a variable as you are actually assigning it a value at any point in time of your code. So I hope you've noted that. So we'll try that. X is equals to 3 and x multiplied by 5. So x equals 3. So you can see it will appear as if nothing has happened, sindio? But already a variable called x has already been assigned a value of 3. It has been created and assigned a value of 3. So that even if I say x multiplied by 5, you see it has already known it is 3 times 5, sindio? Because it remembers x ni 3. So if even I say x power 3, so that is 3 power 3, sindio? So see, I'm getting 27, sindio? Because it is already getting, it is 3 power 3. So that is how you actually do the variables. We go on. So you can see, you can even try Cisco multiplied by x. So it is taking, like, this is a string, it's going to multiply it 3 times. So let's try that. And for a string, we have to put those double apostrophe. So I say Cisco multiplied by x. So you can see maonyesha Cisco, Cisco, Cisco. So it gives me that. So we go on. Let me take this. You'll be able to see the decimal places there. Then the other thing that is also unique to Python is what you call lists and dictionaries. So a list is basically, for example, if I have your list of you, the three of you, you're near list, then I can have a dictionary. A dictionary is basically, I think even your list is, yours is not a list, it's like a dictionary. Let me confirm. Because a dictionary, you can see this one is a list. For example, you can see there's a list called host names, R1, R2, R3, S1, S2. When you type host names, unaona inakwambia ni list. Then length host names inakwambia the number of variables iko hapo ndani, the number of items in that list, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ukitype host names itakuletea hiyo. An item in a list can be referenced and manipulated using its index. You will be able to see that. Let me go back to dictionary. Dictionaries are an ordered list of objects. They contain a key value pair. For example, you can see, unaona hii, this is a dictionary. R1, like think of it like R1 is a router. Router 1 and its IP. R2 na nini yake. Think of it like the same way I could actually say a name, then I put Kevin. Age, I put a number there. A gender, I put male. So that is a dictionary. It has a key value pair. So hapa Ken sema hapa ini, iseme hii ni name. Na sasa value yake ni Kevin. Si ndio? Hapa ikwe age. Then hii itakuwa value kama number. Si ndio? Kama ni R3, let's say itakuwa gender, which is the key. Then the value is male or female, of which could be male here. So then you can see, if you say type IP address, you can see it is saying it is a class dict, which is a dictionary. So unless there's anything, you can see unlike list, objectives inside a dictionary cannot be referenced by their sequence number. Instead, you reference a dictionary object using its key. So you can see, you can only say like this one, IP address R1, IP address S1, so that you'll be able to see the value. You'll be able to run through those ones. Then review the input function. The input function ile yenye unakwambia first name input, alafu inakwambia what is your first name? Inakuuliza hiyo swali, then you'll be, when you type your name, this one is interesting. Wacha tuifanye. Hii ya kwanza peke yake. First name input, what is your first name? So let's do that very fast tukimalizia. So we say first name iko na space. See how it's done. First name, capital N, equals input, then into brackets, input function. What is your first name? So before you run it, I'll explain to you what that is doing. So you can see we are using the input function so that whatever the user will input, itakuwa saved kwa a variable called first name. Maana hivyo? First name equals input, what is your first name? Unaona? So whatever the user type na keyboard, itakuwa saved in a variable called first name. So what else do I need to do before I do anything? So you can see I can just press enter. Then you can see inaniuliza. If I say Kevin, then what do I need to do? I can just say print hello, first name, that. So I can even just say print, instead of putting all that hello, I'll say print first name. Do you see it has already shown me ndani ya variable inaitwa first name, there's a value called Kevin. Unaona hivyo? If I decide and put maybe print first name, then I say Lucy. If I say print first name, do you see it is also showing me Lucy, because when I did the input again, it may replace ile value ya Kevin ikaeka Lucy, because I was referring to that to another variable. Mielewa? It's a very simple thing. So and very interesting. So utaweza kuiranisha. So I'd like you to just continue doing this lab mpaka mwisho. Tukikuja, maybe if we do tomorrow, I don't know whether I'll be able to do tomorrow. I think we'll be able to do tomorrow. Then we see and us to get. Unajua hii bado yote tuko intro. Yote ni intro. Hatujaingia DevNet bado. Tunachapa tu intro. So review if for while functions, you utafanya hiyo. You save, create if, elif. So ours in Python inatumianga what we call elif for else if. Taranisha hiyo. You go on, create a for loop, step 3, uone vinafanya. You do a switch. I think is this switch case, switches. Aini for loop bado. Use a while loop to check whether the user are done, utafanya hiyo. Then save and run your script. Review methods for file access. In this part, you review the methods of accessing, manipulating. So open file access, create a program that Python 3 that remove the blank lines from the output. Utafanya hiyo so that itatoa hizo blank lines. Then challenge, create a script that allows users to add devices. Yeah. So hiyo ni ka challenge iko hapo mwisho. Ujaribu kufanya hiyo challenge. Then umalizie. Mfanye hiyo kitu nini? Over tomorrow you see how it works. So once you do that, if I close this, you can see you'll be able to do, after you do that, you can come and do this quiz. One, it is a quiz you can check. So at ini quiz utaanguka ama nini. Later on, after we finish that, utaona course introduction summary, itakwambia what did you learn? What did you learn in this module? Itakuexplain here. You learned how to install the devask and to put your ready. And also you did a Linux review and a Python programming review to determine whether you are ready to do that. So unaona ukimaliza hiyo, you'll be able to go now to the introduction for devask. So you can see, explore how DevNet encourages communities to network programmers, investigate DevNet online resources. Hapa sasa tutaweza create a lot of accounts. Tutaweza create account within developer, DevNet learning labs, utaona hizi vitu zote. Be able to see what we call the DevNet sandbox, DevNet exchanges. Itakuwa tu kind of a theory somehow, but tutaweza create accounts there. Then we'll be able to finish. So what we will be doing is, once we finish module 1, I will activate the module 1 exam for you so that you'll be able to see. But don't go, usirukie tu hii exam kama hujapitia module 1 vizuri. It's not a crazy exam. It's an exam that has around, let's say 15 questions. Na zote ni multiple choice. And in those 15 questions, you are given 1 hour. Uko umemaliza hizo nini. It is a timed exam. So unaona, once I look, let me see whether I've activated it. Module 1. So now duration is 1 hour. You'll be able to get some item feedback, and you may activate from when to when. 21st November 2020 to 21st Dec 2020. So what that means is you have from now up until 21st Dec kufanya hiyo module 1 exam. Sini sawa? Then tukimaliza hiyo, I'll activate the other one. If I see the students, nione ulikuwa umejaribu. Oh, ulijaribu kwa attempt. Oh, ukaona ni kunoma ukatoroka. Hizo exams ni noma. So you can see you have a maximum of 5 attempts. So naona 1 yenye kumaliza. So I can say disregard incomplete attempt. Let me see. Then I say submit. Si nimeona ama sijaona? Students. Nafaa kwa mahali hapa. Let me see whether I've actually activated. Nafaa kwa hapa. Let me see. Let me go to assessment center. Sijali hizi vitu hata sisi kuorganize exam ni ngumu. Kwa hivyo nione manage activations. Whether you need to add students here and where. These are the ones I activate. I think when I was doing this, I'm commenting. Let me see. Expired activations, connect available activations. Let me go to another activation. You see that I can create a new activation for this module 1. Hey. Yeah. Yes. VirtualBox, what about it? Okay, let me end first the class here. So we'll continue tomorrow on that. So let me stop this officially. Thank you.